Getting philosophical while resetting for a level 90 fish. Forgive me. We're seeing if we can get these fish to spawn. I have a feeling we won't be able to. I'm trying to be objective here. Though I guess all he asked was freaking which I personally prefer. It's not that deep. Tears of the Kingdom delivered in a lot of aspects. Breath of the Wild flubs the final boss, for example, making it easier if you play more of the game, if you get more invested, if you get stronger. It halves the final boss's HP. Tears of the Kingdom takes this into account. I would say a lot of complaints that I see about Tears of the Kingdom online, not that this in any way has anything to do with the person who asked the question, but when reading negative takes, which are different from mine, because I really like Tears of the Kingdom, a complaint from people that I often see is, the battery is restrictive, or, I didn't like the fusing, or, I remember Breath of the Wild side quests more, or whatever. Okay, I kept track of a lot of side quest stuff for Tears of the Kingdom, and they tried a lot of new mechanics. They really built out some really cool stuff. They had these missions where you have the soldiers and they follow you and you go into the caves and they have the dialogue and stuff. They did a lot of cool stuff with the dialogue in that game. Not that Breath of the Wild didn't, but Tears of the Kingdom really tried in ways that I feel like surface level complaints can miss. I think ultimately my preferences don't work that way. If you're asking about my specific preference, I played both games at launch and I dunked hundreds of hours into each. And so I would say, I'm trying not to die here while doing all of this. Got him. I would say Breath of the Wild is a timeless classic. And one thing that Nintendo is really freaking good at doing is deciding to do something and then executing it. Nintendo spent like a decade trying to get Breath of the Wild to work. When they released it, it was freaking awesome and novel as all hell. Making a sequel to that is not going to have the same novelty or permanent impact. It just isn't. But that doesn't make Tears of the Kingdom the worst game. On Reddit, it does. On Reddit, you get upvoted 1,000 points by saying, when I was 6 years old and I played Breath of the Wild, it was the most magical experience of all time. And so Tears of the Kingdom just isn't as good. You'll get like 1,000 upvotes on Reddit for saying that, man. That's just how gaming Discord is these days. But I don't necessarily think that they're meant to be compared one-to-one as products in terms of which is better than which. Nintendo is fully aware that they're still producing both cartridges and selling both for full retail price, which means Nintendo wants them to be different. Nintendo wants them to be separate products that do separate things better. I'm trying to think of an analogy, but it's like, let's say you want a printer, right? You might get a really crappy printer, but then the color accuracy just isn't there for printing. Maybe you made some drawings. The color isn't accurate for printing your drawings, even though you got it for flyers. Okay, well now you need a specialized printer for printing photos because you're making drawings. And so maybe you really prefer the button menu of the photo printer. But that doesn't mean that it can handle paper larger than 4 by 8 inches or whatever, right? Even if you prefer the UI, that doesn't necessarily make it the better printer for every situation. And I think that's how Nintendo approaches game development as well. In the end, my answer is that I love both Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild so much that I think comparing them is something that you do after you decide that you really like Zelda as a whole. I think anybody who loves one but hates another for a really small reason is probably missing the bigger picture. A lot of gaming fans on Reddit can be moved by very small impulses and have very dramatic takes because of that. I don't like how Jibanyan looks in Shadowside, so it's literally garbage. It sucks. It should never be localized, and anybody who disagrees is wrong and is trying to ruin my day and ruin my fun. Okay, that's a really common take on Reddit, man. I can't do anything about that. I'll take this opportunity to say it again. I understand the Orion dislike for Inazuma 11, but if somebody loves Chrono Stones while hating Orion for not being Inazuma, they really need to sit down. Orion's a bit over-dramatic, sure, but it doesn't have time travel where you get the guy trying to unite Japan and Jeanne d'Arc to join your team. It's a bit, and when you fuse with the T-Rex's soul, also in Chrono Stones. Orion's ridiculous, sure, but we crossed that bridge long ago, baby! Speaking of bridges, it's time to go fish. I hated on Chrono Stones for a long time, but eventually, I don't know if you could call it growing up or what, but I spent so much time consuming media that total mental roadblock of literally just never wanting to engage with something ever for an arbitrary reason, I don't really have that anymore. If I have a really damn good reason, like the company doing shady things with really weird political stuff, then I might just not talk about it on stream and not engage with the companies. Ignoring that sort of thing, I'm not just going to be like, oh, well, it has time travel, so I'm never going to watch it. And I spent 10 years not watching Chrono Stones because it has time travel. Time to watch Chrono Stones. Okay, level 5 does wacky crap. It's, not well written, but it's enjoyable, right? That's all I need. The music's really good. Mera Mera, baby. Okay, so now that the fish are verified spawned, we gotta go back to the tower and swap our party members. The way that Zanark repeatedly calls the hurricane a female, which I get because all hurricanes have girl names, but the way he keeps saying that he fused with her and that they became one, it's a little weird because he's in like middle school, especially, and he's also driving a motorcycle for some reason. To be fair, he's literally being chased by the police, so I think the reason is that he doesn't care about the law. But bro really needs to like tone down the language when talking about his experience with the hurricane, because he was like, you know, made me a new man. I was never the same after we merged. I'm like, okay. He's like, she's still inside me. I'm like, whoa, okay, on a different time slot, buddy. It's just a little much for me. After more than 300 hours, we're going to be playing that game at the end of August, by the way. It's by the creators of Fantasy Life, if you're terrified. Here's the cold, hard truth, buddy. I have nothing to do while grinding levels in this game. Level 5 had a poster that was supposed to be Miku in the first Yokai Watch, and they also have a poster that's supposed to be Miku in the second Yokai Watch. But the kicker is, the one in the second Yokai Watch looks significantly different from Miku, while the first one looks exactly like her. Did level 5 get nervous once Yokai Watch popped off in popularity and toned down the reference? It's like literally Miku. It's just really low resolution, like very low res Miku. Then they do Sakura Miku in Yokai Watch 2, so it's more plausibly deniable. It's like pink Miku. Yeah, but everybody knows Sakura Miku, you know? You ain't fooling anybody. If you've heard of Professor Layton, they made that game. But Layton is definitely not for everybody. Because Layton says that it's about puzzles, but it's actually about, how do I put this? Professor Layton is actually about asking which is heavier, a pound of feathers or a pound of bricks? And then the answer is, the pound of bricks has a really depressing backstory, so the pound of bricks is heavier. You know what I mean? It's a really fun game if you like that kind of stuff, but some people get really tired of the gachas really fast, and that's the entire game. You either love it or you hate it. So now we just save, and we make sure all of our guys have the XP up. Yeah, we're good. So we'll harvest while our teammates do a little dance. Same thing, really. The lead up for these boss fish takes so long, and I get it because it's fishing, but we can level crafting buddies with this. That's a great idea. Excellent. And how much are they going to add? Is it just going to be a little bit? It's a lot, including a massive feature that I was already speculating about being cut from the base game. I won't say what it is, but in past streams, I've speculated about a massive feature being hinted at through dialogue from Strangelings on the island. They like all seem to mention something that doesn't exist. They're gonna add it in a patch and it's gonna be awesome. But like, I don't know anything about it. It's just good to know they're working on stuff. Does the file have the release date for the DLC or anything that suggests it? Ask no. The answer is no. It's gonna be a while. They're planning a massive expansion that has nothing to do with Ginormosia. They have repeatedly said, expand the world will add a bunch of different stuff, but it's gonna focus on Ginormosia. That means level 5 is planning another expansion for the future, probably this holiday, probably Christmas. Level 5 is supporting Inazuma for the next few months after launch. The reason why I'm being so vague is because the terms of service when you open the game say that you're not allowed to say certain things when streaming. Also, the Fantasy Life Discord is trying to keep data mines on the down low too. So I'm trying to strike a decent balance. Back in the day, we used to agree for Yokai Watch that level 5 does a crap job of promoting themselves. So it's okay to talk about the fact that they're making things, but it's best to not say the specific things. Old habits die hard, I guess. I am going ape over that game. Donkey Kong Bananas is coming soon. It's going to be the greatest Switch game of all time. It's going to be the greatest game of all time since Mario Odyssey, which changed my life. How did it change my life? Well, I went bing bing and wahoo. I was never the same after that, bro. You just don't get it. If you don't get it, oh man. The endorphins, bro. The neurons firing. Changed my life. The doctors don't understand. They refuse to accept it. If level 5 releases DLC late, they will lose players. Yeah, Monster Hunter has never had any success ever with releasing a substantial expansion a significant time after launch. That never works out for Monster Hunter. That's a failure of a franchise. Every single time that they've done that for Monster Hunter 1, Monster Hunter 2, Monster Hunter 3, Monster Hunter 4, Monster Hunter Portable, Monster Hunter Rise, Monster Hunter World, definitely forgetting a few here. Yeah, none of those, they all sold like crap, right? None of them broke any records for Capcom. Taking your time to develop a significant DLC while also keeping the game alive with smaller free updates in the meantime, that's a terrible strategy. That would never work for anybody. I bet they'd only sell a few million copies. Square Enix would hate that. Hey, Godfish, buddy, give me the sweet spot. I was thinking expand the world at the start of August, because it gives them significant time to develop it, while also leaving room for Victory Road to breathe at the end of the month. I bought a big laptop in 2024 and never used it, says Chris. Oh, you did? Nice job. See, that's your first step to becoming a true Steam gamer. buying something and then never using it. Then when you're feeling really crafty, you can buy the complete editions when they're on sale. So you get DLC you'll never play too. I'm really good at that. I have all $50,000 of DLC for Train Simulator. One day I'll play Train Simulator for real. And then I'll see what the hype is about. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying I've never played it. And it has thousands of dollars of DLC. I'm serious. I think it's because of licensing fees is why. People want them to replicate real trains to give them credit. People want them to replicate real trains, but that costs money. The rules for my chat actually say that I like random questions. You're curious where my username comes from. Okay, so I am from the GameCube generation. And so Pikmin 2 is my favorite game of all time. When I got into Pokemon, grass was my favorite type. I came up with the name 101 Leafy for Pokemon. Pretty sure 101 comes from how you have 100 Pikmin in Pikmin. I was really freaking obsessed with Pikmin, dude. Like, it was insane. Maybe not insane because that's a really good game, so it's understandable, but it was a healthy obsession with Pikmin. And Pikmin 1 I loved. Pikmin 2 is just, like, amazing. Pikmin 2 is like the Pikmin game. Pikmin 1 is like the arcade experience, you know? Are you guys excited for Digimon Time Strangers? Let's go to the tower and bring someone along, like a crafter for SP, just to level someone else up. Do not change the area rank, but you can change your party formation. All right, now we have a crafter in our party for bonus SP gains. I should complete the Mount video series. I know it's kind of repetitive, but I kind of just want to have it complete, just to make me happy. We can do that, right? I saw someone who used AI to do the same exact dance with 100 different anime girls, and he posted them all on the same day and got over 100,000 views on each of them. This is who I'm competing against? Well, thanks for watching me, guys, because the future's getting increasingly grim. I just don't like to talk about it too much. Jeez, what a difference. It's insanely easy with Alon on our side. Get a debuff in there from a combat life. Get some SP regen from a crafter life, and you're perfectly fine. Make sure to save your game and exit, and they'll respawn. A big shark will spawn and attack you once you kill both of the fish, but you can just save and exit, and the fish will respawn. Somebody started posting a huge rant in the Mario Kart stream because, like, he posted it at, like, 3 a.m. my time, and he started ranting about how I wasn't answering his fantasy life question in the Mario Kart stream while I was sleeping. I was like, okay, I'm really sorry, dude. I'm really sorry. When you have a stream that says 24/7 Mario Kart and someone doesn't like that it's not fantasy life, like, that's when it starts to become peak content creation. It teaches you things about the world, dude, about how to make peace with yourself and the fact that you can never be perfect. So I accidentally reset my Ginormosia, which gives me a great chance to test something. Apparently I made a mistake in the woodcutting video, and these areas can actually activate at lower than rank 5. I'm glad that people were able to verify it in the comments. Of course, I've never actually tested it myself. If you need more fishing XP and you don't want to reset for the Godfish, just head to rank 6 Multana Wastes, and the Erupt Tuna will give you plenty of experience without requiring a rare area event. Just do watch out because this guy is on a 5-minute real-life timer, and there's nothing you can do about that. Oh wow, tons of XP from the level 90 swordfish over here too, in Drake's Eye Valley. Yeah, that Godfish ain't showing back up for me, so we are finishing level 100 angler with a whimper. Let's head back on over to the Erupt Tuna as it slowly spawns back in. Here we go, the final fish of level 100 angler. Here it comes, level 100 angler. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope this video helps you out. Make sure to subscribe and leave a like if it did. And until next time, with love and peace, thanks for watching.